Have you ever felt utterly overwhelmed by the noise around you? The endless stream of opinions, expectations, and the relentless pressure of keeping up? Imagine this. Ancient Stoic philosophers over 2,000 years ago faced the same human emotions, struggles, and questions about identity and purpose that we grapple with today. It's fascinating, isn't it, that the wisdom from centuries past still holds profound relevance in our modern, fast-paced world. Today, we're diving deep into the Stoic way of life, uncovering timeless truths that can help us navigate the chaos of the 21st century with grace, resilience, and profound inner peace. Whether you're struggling with stress, seeking meaning, or simply curious about a philosophical approach to life that has stood the test of time, you're in the right place. Together, we will explore how Stoicism isn't just a set of ideas, but a practical guide to living more fully, authentically, and serenely. And if you're eager to embark on this journey of self-discovery and timeless wisdom with us, please hit that subscribe button. Remember, every part of this content is crafted with you in mind, so don't skip any section. Each moment is a step towards a more stoic, resilient you. Isn't it curious how much we all, at some point in our lives, find ourselves entangled in the web of others' opinions? We often surrender our peace of mind and happiness trying to fit into the molds others create for us. But let's pause for a moment and delve into ancient Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the futility of seeking external approval. He urges us to question this innate desire to please others, challenging us to break free from the chains of external validation. It's a liberating thought, isn't it? To realize that the only approval you truly need is your own. Now think about it. When you lay your head on your pillow at night, it's your thoughts you're left with, not others. So why not make those thoughts about your true self, your values, and your actions? Imagine the freedom of being unapologetically you, not swayed by fleeting opinions or the latest trends. Embracing your unique path. How do we start caring less about people's opinions? It begins with understanding and reaffirming your values. What do you stand for? What matters most to you? When your actions are in harmony with your beliefs, there's a profound sense of peace and authenticity that no amount of external approval can match. Moreover, embracing your uniqueness attracts the right kind of people into your life. Those who appreciate you for who you genuinely are, not for who they want you to be. It's about quality, not quantity. Having a few meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding is infinitely more fulfilling than seeking the fleeting approval of the masses. It's crucial to remember that people's opinions are just that, opinions. They are subjective, variable, and often more reflective of the person expressing them than of you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely points out, the only constant and true validation comes from within, from living a life aligned with your values and principles. Imagine you are at a crossroads in your career. On one side, there's a job that offers prestige and high pay but doesn't align with your passion or values. On the other side, there's a less glamorous position that deeply resonates with your beliefs and allows you to contribute meaningfully. The Stoic approach would encourage you to choose the latter, despite the societal pressure to opt for the former. Your inner peace and fulfillment are worth more than external accolades. The power of honesty. When we talk about being honest, it's easy to default to the idea of not lying to others, but Stoicism invites us to explore honesty on a much deeper level. It's about aligning our external actions and words with our internal values and beliefs. This alignment fosters a profound sense of integrity and wholeness. Imagine the peace that comes from knowing your actions are not just surface-level performances, but true reflections of your inner self. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, really hammers this point home. He suggests that honesty doesn't just make moral sense, it makes practical sense. Think about it. Deceit requires us to remember our lies, cover our tracks, and live in constant fear of being found out. It's mentally exhausting. Honesty, on the other hand, is simple and liberating. It frees us from the tangled web of deceit and allows us to live with ease and clarity. But here's the real kicker. Honesty affects not only our relationship with others, but also with ourselves. When we are honest with ourselves about our strengths, our flaws, our desires, we pave the way for genuine growth and self-acceptance. It's like clearing out the clutter in our minds to make room for more peace, more understanding, and more authentic connections with the people around us. Embracing honesty is not always easy. It requires courage and vulnerability. It means sometimes admitting we were wrong, facing our mistakes, and dealing with the consequences of our actions. But the reward, trust, respect, and a clear conscience is immeasurably worth it. So how can we cultivate this virtue in our daily lives? It starts with small steps. Practice transparency in your interactions. Reflect on your day and acknowledge moments where you might not have been entirely honest. Ask yourself why and how you can improve. Remember, it's a journey, and every step toward honesty is a step toward a more serene and meaningful life. Consider a scenario at work where you've made a mistake on a project. The easy route might be to cover it up or shift the blame. But Stoic honesty would encourage you to own up to the error, address the issue directly, and learn from the experience. This approach not only strengthens your integrity, but also builds trust with your colleagues and superiors. The art of not taking things personally. We've all felt that sting, that immediate reaction, when someone's words or actions seem to hit us right where it hurts. Seneca, with his profound understanding of human nature, reminds us to look beyond the surface. He suggests that when someone acts in a way that we find hurtful or offensive, it's often not really about us at all. People act based on their perceptions, their struggles, and their history. It's like everyone is moving through the world wearing a unique pair of glasses that colors how they see everything around them, including us. Think about a time when you might have snapped at someone or acted in a way that wasn't really you. Chances are you were dealing with something else entirely: stress, fear, insecurity, or maybe you were just having a really bad day. Now, if we can recognize this in ourselves, why not extend that same understanding to others? This perspective shift, which Seneca advocates, is about empathy, but it's also about self-preservation. When we stop taking things personally, we detach ourselves from the unnecessary pain that comes with believing everyone's actions are about us. It's like setting down a heavy burden we've been carrying around. Suddenly we can breathe, move, and live more freely. But how do we actually do this? How do we stop taking things personally, especially when our emotions are already flared up? It starts with a pause. When you feel that rush of hurt or anger, just pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself of Seneca's words. This might not be about me at all. This simple act of pausing can prevent a reactive spiral and give you space to choose a more reasoned response. It's also about building resilience and understanding. The more we remind ourselves that we don't have the full picture of what someone else is going through, the less likely we are to be wounded by their actions or words. And when we do get hurt, because it will happen, we can treat it as a practice ground for our Stoic principles. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can it help me grow? In embracing this Stoic approach, we not only protect our peace of mind, but also open ourselves up to more compassionate and meaningful interactions. We become less reactive, more understanding, and in a way, more connected to the humanity in everyone we meet. Imagine a scenario where a colleague criticizes your work in a harsh manner. Instead of immediately feeling attacked and defensive, take a step back. Consider that they might be under pressure, dealing with personal issues, or simply expressing their own insecurities. By not taking it personally, you maintain your composure, respond thoughtfully, and potentially even help diffuse the situation. Cultivating patience. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about patience. He saw it not just as a passive waiting, but as an active engagement with the present moment, whatever it may hold. To him, being patient was akin to donning armor against the trials of life, transforming potential irritants into lessons of endurance and calm. Think about it. When you're stuck in traffic, there's a kind of freedom in accepting you can't move faster than the cars in front of you. It's an opportunity to listen to your favorite music, an audiobook, or simply to your own thoughts. This shift doesn't change the traffic, but it changes how you experience it, turning a frustrating wait into a moment of peace or even enjoyment. Similarly, when dealing with a challenging person, imagine if instead of reacting with irritation or anger, you respond with patience. You give yourself a moment to understand where they're coming from, to recognize that their behavior is more about their own struggles than anything else. This doesn't mean you accept bad behavior, but you respond to it with composure and thoughtfulness, which often diffuses tension and leads to better outcomes for everyone involved. Patience, in the Stoic sense, is about embracing the moment rather than fighting against it. It's about seeing the delay, the annoyance, or the obstacle as part of the path, not a detour from it. Every time you practice patience, you're building mental and emotional resilience. You're strengthening your ability to face life's challenges with a calm and steady mind. So the next time you're faced with a situation that tests your patience, remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Embrace it as an opportunity to grow stronger, to deepen your practice of patience, and to live more fully in the present moment. Let's say you're working on a long-term project with a distant deadline. Impatience might push you to cut corners or stress unnecessarily, but by adopting a Stoic perspective, you focus on the process, taking it one step at a time, appreciating the journey, and recognizing that the end result will come in due course. This approach not only improves your work quality, but also enhances your overall well-being. The discipline of desire. Epictetus, one of the central figures of Stoicism, often spoke about the discipline of desire. He taught that we should focus our desires on what is within our control and be indifferent to what lies beyond it. This principle is revolutionary when you think about it. We often find ourselves caught up in wanting things that are simply out of our hands, other people's actions, the weather, the economy, and so on. By desiring what is within our control, like our own actions, our own thoughts, and our own reactions, we reclaim a sense of agency and peace. Imagine you're at work, aiming for a promotion. While it's natural to desire recognition, Epictetus would advise us to focus on what we can control: our effort, our attitude, and our work ethic. We can't control the outcome, whether we get the promotion or not. But by channeling our desire towards our own actions, we maintain our serenity and motivation regardless of the result. This shift not only reduces anxiety, but also enhances our performance, as we're less distracted by fears and more focused on our tasks. Similarly, in personal relationships, we often desire others to behave in a certain way, to meet our expectations. But people are independent beings with their own minds and wills. By practicing the discipline of desire, we focus instead on how we treat others, on our own capacity for love, patience, and kindness. This shift doesn't mean we become passive in our relationships, but it does mean we stop being constantly disappointed by unmet expectations. Instead, we find joy and fulfillment in our own actions and attitudes. This Stoic principle invites us to constantly question our desires. Are they focused on what we can control? If not, how can we shift them? This practice is transformative. It liberates us from the frustration of chasing after the uncontrollable and roots us in the empowering realm of our own actions and choices. Over time, This discipline of desire becomes second nature, guiding us towards a more serene and fulfilled life. Consider a scenario where you're hoping for a specific outcome in a legal case. While it's normal to want a favorable decision, Epictetus's teaching would suggest focusing on what you can control: your preparation, your honesty, and your composure. The judge's decision is beyond your control. By accepting this and focusing on your own actions, you alleviate unnecessary stress and maintain your inner peace regardless of the outcome. The impermanence of everything. Everything in life is transient. This idea, central to Stoic thought, is both humbling and liberating. When we truly internalize the impermanence of everything, our possessions, our relationships, our achievements, it changes how we experience life's highs and lows. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this, reminding himself that everything we encounter is temporary. This isn't meant to be a depressing thought, but rather a call to appreciate and fully engage with the present moment. Think about your favorite possessions. The phone you're reading this on, the car you drive, the house you live in, all these things are temporary. They can be lost, broken, or stolen. By recognizing their impermanence, we begin to cherish them more while also preparing ourselves emotionally for their eventual loss. This doesn't mean we live in constant fear of losing things, but rather in a state of appreciation and readiness. Similarly, consider our relationships. Every interaction we have with loved ones, friends, and even strangers is unique and fleeting. Embracing this impermanence encourages us to be more present, more loving, and more grateful for the time we have with others. It's about savoring the moments without clinging to them, knowing that change is the only constant. This perspective also transforms how we deal with difficulties. When facing hardships, remembering their transient nature can provide comfort and strength. No pain, no struggle, no challenge lasts forever. This too shall pass. By keeping this in mind, we cultivate resilience and hope, knowing that every storm eventually gives way to calm. Practicing this Stoic principle involves daily reflection. Take a moment each day to remind yourself of the impermanence of the things and people around you. Let this awareness deepen your appreciation for them and lessen your fear of loss. It's a practice that fosters a profound sense of peace and presence, allowing us to engage more fully with life as it is in all its transient beauty. Imagine you're going through a difficult breakup. It's a painful experience, but by embracing the Stoic understanding of impermanence, you recognize that this pain won't last forever. You allow yourself to grieve, but also to heal, finding comfort in the knowledge that time will bring new experiences and joys. The practice of negative visualization. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, is a powerful Stoic practice. It involves periodically contemplating potential negative events or losses to build resilience and gratitude. This might sound counterintuitive or even pessimistic, but its purpose is to prepare our minds for challenges and to foster a deeper appreciation for what we have. Imagine waking up each day and for a few moments reflecting on the possibility that you might lose some of the things you value most. Think about how it would feel to lose your job, your health, or a loved one. This isn't about dwelling in fear or sadness, but about recognizing the fragility and unpredictability of life. By contemplating these potential losses, we mentally prepare ourselves, reducing the shock and devastation if they ever do occur. Moreover, this practice deepens our gratitude. When we remind ourselves that nothing is guaranteed, we start to cherish our current blessings more deeply. We become more present with our loved ones, more appreciative of our health, and more mindful of our daily experiences. Negative visualization helps us see the ordinary as extraordinary, turning everyday moments into precious memories in the making. To incorporate this practice into your life, set aside a few minutes each day for reflection. Choose different aspects of your life to focus on each time. Imagine losing them and then bring your mind back to the present, appreciating that for now, these things are still part of your life. This simple yet profound exercise cultivates a mindset of resilience and gratitude, empowering you to face life's uncertainties with a calm and grateful heart. Consider a scenario where you're preparing for a major presentation. By practicing negative visualization, you imagine various things going wrong: technical failures, tough questions, or a poor reception. This mental preparation allows you to develop strategies to handle these situations calmly and effectively, reducing your anxiety and increasing your confidence. The importance of community. Seneca emphasized the value of community and mutual support. He believed that we are inherently social beings, and our well-being is deeply intertwined with the well-being of others. In our modern, often individualistic society, it's easy to forget this. We can get so caught up in our personal goals and challenges that we lose sight of the power of community and connection. Building and nurturing a supportive community is a core Stoic practice. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who share our values and who support our growth. This doesn't mean we only associate with those who agree with us, but rather that we seek relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to living virtuously. Consider how you can foster a sense of community in your own life. It might involve joining groups or organizations that align with your interests and values. It could mean reaching out more to friends and family, being there for them, and allowing them to be there for you. It's about creating spaces where you can share, learn, and grow together. Furthermore, being part of a community means contributing to it. It's not just about what you can get, but also about what you can give. Seneca reminds us that we have a duty to help others, to share our wisdom, and to support those in need. This reciprocal support strengthens the bonds of community and enhances our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. In practice, this might mean volunteering, offering your skills to help others, or simply being a listening ear for someone who needs it. It's about small, consistent acts of kindness and support that build a strong, resilient community around you. Imagine being part of a local book club that discusses philosophical and ethical issues. Through regular meetings and discussions, you form deep connections with others, gain new perspectives, and feel a sense of belonging and support. This community becomes a source of strength and inspiration, enriching your life in countless ways. Living as an example. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers often spoke about the importance of living as an example. It's one thing to talk about virtues like wisdom, courage, and temperance, but it's another to embody them in our daily lives. The true test of our philosophical commitments lies in our actions, in how we conduct ourselves when no one is watching. Living as an example means striving to align our actions with our values consistently. It's about demonstrating integrity not for the sake of appearances, but because it's the right thing to do. This authenticity inspires others and creates a ripple effect, encouraging them to reflect on their own values and actions. Consider the impact of a leader who genuinely embodies the principles they preach. Their authenticity fosters trust and respect, creating a positive and ethical environment. Similarly, when we live our values, we inspire those around us, whether it's our family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. This commitment to living as an example also holds us accountable. It reminds us that our actions matter, that we have the power to influence and inspire others through our conduct. It's a continuous practice of self-reflection and improvement, recognizing that we are all works in progress. To live as an example, start by identifying your core values. Reflect on what matters most to you and how you can embody these values in your daily life. Set small, achievable goals to align your actions with these values and regularly assess your progress. Remember, it's not about perfection, but about consistent effort and genuine commitment. Consider a teacher who not only educates their students about integrity and respect, but also consistently demonstrates these values in their interactions. Their students learn not just from their words, but from their actions, understanding the importance of living with integrity through real-life examples. The joy of simple pleasures. In our quest for happiness and fulfillment, we often overlook the simple pleasures of life. The Stoics teach us to find joy in the ordinary, to appreciate the small, everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Seneca, in particular, spoke about the importance of simplicity and contentment, reminding us that true happiness lies not in extravagance, but in appreciating what we already have. Think about the simple pleasures in your life: the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, the sound of laughter, the comfort of a good book, or the serenity of a quiet moment. These experiences, though small, hold immense potential for joy and contentment if we take the time to notice and appreciate them. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way to cultivate this appreciation. By regularly reflecting on the simple pleasures and blessings in our lives, we train our minds to focus on the positive and to find joy in the present moment. This practice can transform our outlook, making us more resilient and content. To embrace this Stoic principle, start by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down a few simple pleasures or moments of joy that you experienced. Reflect on these entries regularly, allowing yourself to feel gratitude and contentment. Over time, you'll find that this practice enhances your overall well-being and helps you cultivate a more positive, joyful outlook on life. Consider the simple pleasure of a morning cup of coffee. By taking a moment to savor the aroma, taste, and warmth, you turn an ordinary experience into a source of joy and mindfulness. This practice not only enhances your enjoyment of the moment, but also sets a positive tone for the rest of your day. The power of letting go. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the art of letting go. This involves recognizing and releasing our attachments to things, people, and outcomes that are beyond our control. It's about embracing change and impermanence with grace and resilience, understanding that clinging to what we cannot control only leads to suffering. Epictetus emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. He taught that our peace of mind depends on focusing on our own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, while accepting that everything else is beyond our influence. This principle, though simple, is incredibly powerful and liberating. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring or become indifferent. Rather, it's about developing a healthy detachment, where we care deeply but remain resilient in the face of change and loss. It's about understanding that life is in constant flux and that our well-being depends on our ability to adapt and flow with these changes. To practice this principle, start by identifying areas in your life where you feel a strong attachment or need for control. Reflect on whether these things are truly within your power to influence. If not, practice releasing your grip, allowing yourself to accept and adapt to whatever comes. This might involve mindfulness practices, meditation, or simply regular reflection on the Stoic teachings. Imagine you're dealing with a significant life change, such as moving to a new city. By embracing the Stoic principle of letting go, you focus on the aspects you can control: your attitude, your openness to new experiences, and your efforts to build a new life. This approach helps you adapt more smoothly and reduces the stress and anxiety associated with the change. The balance of self-discipline and compassion. Stoicism often emphasizes self-discipline and the control of one's desires and impulses. However, it's equally important to balance this discipline with compassion, both towards ourselves and others. Marcus Aurelius, in his reflections, often reminded himself to be strict with himself but lenient with others. This balance is crucial for a well-rounded and humane approach to life. Self-discipline is about setting standards and goals for ourselves, striving to live according to our values, and resisting the pull of harmful impulses. It's about cultivating inner strength and resilience. However, if taken to an extreme, it can lead to rigidity and self-criticism. This is where compassion comes in. We need to be kind to ourselves, recognizing that we are human and prone to mistakes. This self-compassion allows us to learn and grow from our experiences without harsh self-judgment. Similarly, when interacting with others, it's essential to remember that everyone is fighting their own battles. By extending compassion and understanding towards others, we build stronger, more supportive relationships. This doesn't mean we condone harmful behavior, but that we approach it with empathy and a desire to understand and help, rather than judge and punish. To cultivate this balance, practice self-discipline in your daily routines and goals, but also allow yourself grace when you fall short. Reflect on how you can support and uplift others, recognizing their struggles and offering kindness and understanding. This balanced approach leads to a more fulfilling and compassionate life, aligned with the core principles of Stoicism. Imagine you're working towards a personal fitness goal. Self-discipline pushes you to maintain a regular exercise routine and healthy diet. However, if you have an off day or miss a workout, self-compassion reminds you that it's okay and encourages you to get back on track without self-criticism. This balance ensures that you stay motivated and positive on your journey. The serenity of accepting death. The Stoics believed that contemplating death was essential for living a full and meaningful life. This might sound morbid, but it's actually about embracing the inevitability of death to free ourselves from the fear of it. By accepting that our time is limited, we are motivated to live more intentionally and fully. Seneca often wrote about the importance of reflecting on our mortality. He believed that doing so helps us prioritize what truly matters, letting go of trivial concerns and focusing on living virtuously. When we acknowledge that death is a natural part of life, we can appreciate the present moment more deeply and make choices that align with our values and purpose. To practice this principle, consider incorporating regular reflections on mortality into your routine. This might involve reading Stoic texts, meditating on the impermanence of life, or simply taking moments throughout the day to appreciate the fleeting nature of time. This practice isn't about dwelling on death, but about using the awareness of it to enhance your appreciation for life. Imagine you're faced with a challenging decision about how to spend your time. Reflecting on your mortality might help you choose to spend it with loved ones, pursue a passion, or contribute to a cause you care about rather than getting caught up in less meaningful activities. This perspective helps you live more fully and authentically.